Hello colleagues, I'm Genea Stephens, your faculty program assessment coach. And while course level assessment's a little outside my usual program assessment lane, there's a lot of overlap. So I'm going to drift on over into the course level lane and take a moment to talk about kicking off our next 3-year assessment cycle. As you can see from the screen, it begins fall of 2025. Pretty much now. We've made a few key updates that we believe will provide clarity or at least reduce complexity to help us streamline and strengthen GCC's overall assessment process and make sure we're offering our students the best curriculum possible. Like the prior assessment cycle, we're asking that every course be assessed at least once during the 3-year assessment cycle. So no changes. But starting this year, we're also adding program assessment into the mix. Why the change? Well, program assessment's always been on the radar, but feedback from our last HLC review noted that we needed to prioritize this more. The goal is for all programs to assess at least 3 program learning objectives. More is always good. In an ideal world, every PLO would be assessed at each level. But since we're just getting started with program assessment, we want to practice a bit, work out any kinks we might find in this new process. If the old course level assessment model, plan, do, study, act, left you feeling like assessment was more complicated than it needed to be, you're not alone. We heard you and are trying to simplify by shifting to a new acronym called PAIR. Prepare, Assess, Intervene, and Reassess, which was proposed by one of our department assessment coordinators. It's still the same core process, just clearer language, and we hope that it will better align to how we actually teach and reflect on our work. I also want to emphasize the value of using your program maps to guide your course level planning. These maps will help you see exactly where you can collect data that also supports program or institutional outcomes in the most efficient way possible. Collecting program and institutional data is part of the program assessment effort. Are you one of those people that ask, why it matters? Well, at the end of the day, effective assessment leads to actionable insights that improve student learning, retention, and ensure quality curriculum. That's why it matters. It doesn't hurt that it keeps HLC happy with us too. The new PAIR model, shown in this diagram on the screen, gives us a simple and meaningful framework for assessment. P equals prepare. Before you assess anything, you've got to get organized, get ready. This is the step where we build in meaning and make sure our assessments aren't random. It's all about being intentional. That means identifying which courses you're responsible for assessing, how you want to schedule them across the next 3-year cycle, as well as deciding what learning outcomes you're going to measure in each course. During spring 2025, we focused heavily on that step, mapping those course learning outcomes with program learning outcomes, and scaffolding everything up to our institutional learning outcomes with the program maps. As a result, your program's curriculum map is going to be a great tool when you start looking at deciding what data you're going to get from which course. You'll also want to think about your data sources. Where are you going to gather data? Will you use assignments, rubrics, or something else? What about a shared assessment across multiple sections of a course used by multiple instructors? A equals assess. You'll collect data during the semester. It can be quantitative or qualitative, your choice. Students write essays, complete projects, work internships, attend speakers. Those are just a few of the ways that we can dig out data for our sources. You might use tools like standardized rubric scores, success rates, or student work samples. We need to go beyond just grading. Rather, we want to look at data across multiple sections of a course to examine it for patterns that could help us understand what our students are learning or not learning. Those patterns have a lot to tell us. I equals intervene. Using the data to make informed changes. This is the step that turns assessment from just another task on the to-do list into an opportunity for improvement. You might decide that means you want to make an assignment tweak, use a new strategy, or add support or resources for students. Assessment really isn't useful until it leads us to something better. R equals reassess. In this step, you'll gather data again. Same course, same outcome, and it will either confirm the improvement or show you're getting consistent results and maybe give you some new insight. This step closes the loop and reinforces reflective teaching, keeping our focus on continuous improvement of curriculum. After all, we want that curriculum to be valuable to our students and prepare them for success. As part of the streamlining process, we're also introducing a one-stop data collection approach, where one assessment activity serves multiple outcomes to make the best use of your time. If your course isn't aligned to a program, we're asking you to gather data on program learning outcome. If it's not aligned to a program, we're asking that you also gather institutional learning outcome data. Over the course of your, or at least your department's course assessments, we're asking that at least 3 program or institutional learning outcomes are also assessed during this first 3-year cycle where we're incorporating program assessment. We're also asking you to identify which courses meet AGEC requirements. Instead of simply adding another report, because, let's face it, none of us needs yet another report, assessment is expanding the CLO reporting form you're already used to using to capture a couple of pieces of additional data to maximize impact. Using your program map as part of the planning step is where the hard work on all the mapping we did last semester really pays dividends. Your program's map, like the example on the screen, shows where outcomes are introduced, developed, and mastered, and how they're aligned so you can identify where to assess and how to do it efficiently. It's all about maximizing your effort. One set of data that can support multiple outcomes, course, program, and/or institutional. One-stop data collection is efficient and time-saving. You may or may not have been the faculty member responsible for completing the map, but every faculty member should be familiar with where their course or courses fit into the bigger picture on their program's map, if you teach a course that's mapped to a program. Your next step is simple. Take a look at your program map and start planning how you're going to conduct your course level assessments and gather program or institutional data over the next 3 years. If you have questions about finding or interpreting your map, you can always start with your department assessment coordinator, or you could reach out to assessment@gccaz.edu. If you want more information about using your program's map, look for my Leveraging Your Program's Map video, or just call me. Ideally, you will complete the initial assessment of all course and program outcomes within years 1 and 2, with only the final reassessment step left on some courses by year 3. Remember, we want to be able to start and complete the pair cycle within 3 years. It may go faster for some people. There may be courses where you decide to do the intervention and reassessment in the same semester. We hope the pair model and program map alignment will make assessment more efficient, so you have more time to reflect on the impact. But we understand sometimes everybody needs help making assessment work for them. In addition to your department assessment coordinator, the assessment team are here to support you. You can email us at assessment@gccaz.edu, whether it's understanding the pair model or picking the best data and creating efficient assessments. Together, let's make this our most meaningful assessment cycle yet and focus on ensuring we have #curriculum that counts for our students.